guys, welcome back to our channel. So today I'm doing a little bit of a different type of video. I recently was inspired to sit down and talk about this subject after I watched Summer Whitfield's video about her struggle with postpartum depression. And when I watched that video, I cried because I had felt a lot of the things that she had been going through, as well as I had some different, symptoms along with it. So it really, really inspired me to sit down and talk out loud. Hi, Fessa. Lay down. To talk out loud about my struggle with postpartum depression. And encourage those of you who watched Summer's video and those of you who watched my video to have the courage to open up about your story and be heard and understand that you're not alone, that there are so many moms out there that know how you feel, that understand how you feel, and that are here for you. So I feel like I'm in a much better place now. And I am so thankful for those around me who have been there to help me. And so that's why I'm just going to kind of share my story. So if you guys are new to my channel, I am Crystal. I have 2-year-old twin boys, Cooper and Sawyer. They were born at 32 weeks and 3 days, and they spent just shy of 2 months in the NICU. And that honestly started out motherhood very, very rough for me because I went through a lot for them to be born. And if you guys haven't seen my labor and delivery story, I will have it in a card up here, and you can click and watch on that. But it was a very rough start, and then on top of that, we were struggling really hard financially. We had to move out of our apartment because we could no longer afford it. We had to move in with Cory's parents, my in-laws, and that was a hit to our egos and to our pride, as well as living with parents after you've had kids is really, really hard because you constantly feel like you're a burden on somebody else. And so that really kind of is what started my negative feelings, is that I constantly was always feeling like we were a burden, constantly feeling like we were just in somebody else's space with not only one newborn, but 2 newborns. And I know that that wasn't the truth. I mean, my mother-in-law had expressed to me several times how thankful she was that she was able to be there for us and, to help us out. And I am always appreciative of their help that they were able to give us through one of the toughest times in our lives. So that kind of started everything out. On top of, I was only able to work maybe 2 days a week. And going from working pretty much 5 days a week to now only working 2 made me feel like I wasn't contributing enough to our family, to our lifestyle, to helping us get on our feet so that we could find our own place and so that we could be able to provide better for our boys. And that feeling of not feeling good enough seemed to snowball. It started out with that I wasn't doing enough for my family, to then turning into, well, now I'm not doing enough for my children. We were so broke, and our income was so low that we had to be on state assistance. State assistance for health care, as well as state assistance or WIC for the boys' formula. And that was also hard. I am so thankful that we had that help, but it also was, again, another hard hit to our egos, and really rough to sit there and think that I'm not able to provide enough for my kids on my own. So it kind of snowballed into that, and then I fell into a rut, January of 2018. And I kind of fell into a rut, and it was kind of just, I didn't feel like getting up. When the boys were up, I would do everything I needed for them. I would get them fed, changed, play with them. But as soon as they went down for a nap, I did nothing. I had no motivation to get out of the bed. I had no motivation to shower, to put myself together. And if you guys know me, you know that I love being able to sit down and do my makeup. And sorry, I gotta check my text message. But I love being able to do my hair and my makeup and put on a presentable outfit. Like, that is one of the most, probably the thing that I do to self-care for myself. But I didn't have any desire to do that. And then that no motivation turned into sadness. I was very emotional. I was emotional over the fact that the boys would cry all the time, and I had no idea how to help them. And I was sad over the fact that I lived so far away from my family. So many things made me sad, and so that feeling of not good enough turned into no motivation, turned into sadness. And I think that was probably one of my lowest points postpartum, was just feeling so sad all the time. And then after I felt like that sadness was going away, and I felt like, okay, I'm getting back to myself, I was getting that motivation back, I was feeling more like Crystal, the next thing just like hit me out of nowhere, and it was that feeling of anger. I was angry over everything, and looking back at these feelings, this is probably the feeling that I despise the most. I'm shameful of that feeling because I was angry over everything. I was angry over the boys crying. I was angry that Cory was working so much. I was angry at, everything you could possibly think of, I became very, very angry with. And there were times where I would raise my voice, and the boys were only 4 months old, and they would cry, and I would yell. And it was more because I didn't know how to help them, and I was so frustrated that it just kind of happened. And I regret the way I acted because of it. Now, I never once hurt the boys. I never once hurt myself. I never once hurt Cory physically. But these feelings of anger just got so much that I would snap. I would yell. I would scream. I would cry. I would throw things. And it became so much for me. And that anger is where I finally started to realize that I am going through something. Something is not right. And I called my doctor to try to set up some sort of appointment to just talk about everything. And so I had one of my postpartum appointments, and we just talked about everything. I talked about the feelings that I had been feeling, and I pretty much said, like, I feel stupid. I feel like I'm overreacting, and I feel like this is postpartum depression, but I was more in a denial about it than anything else. So after that appointment with her, she pretty much told me, like, this is definitely postpartum depression. And the thing that sucks that I don't know if a whole lot of people will talk about is that I was no longer on Medicaid anymore. My coverage for Medicaid ended after the boys turned 2 months old. They were on Medicaid forever, but I was no longer on it. So we had health coverage through the marketplace, and our specific healthcare provider, our insurance company, would not pay for meds. So I talked to my doctor, and I pretty much asked her, like, what do I do? Because I knew that something was going on, and we had diagnosed it, and we had talked about it, and now I was no longer able to afford medication that could help me. And I just kept expressing to her, like, I don't want to continue being like this. I want to enjoy my children. I want to enjoy being a mom. And I want to enjoy everything that motherhood has to offer. But how can I do that when I can't afford the medication that's going to help me? So after looking through all of my options and everything that we talked about, one of the things that she really suggested was me getting back into physical activity. So working out or dancing or anything that would be my release. And so we moved back to Ohio from Utah in 2018 in April. And after that, I started really taking my mental health seriously. Because we still were on that same plan that I couldn't afford the medication, that I had to find some other way to fix this. Not necessarily fix this, but to deal with it in a healthier way. So I started working out. I started going to the gym. I started watching more of what I ate. I started to really dive back into things that I enjoyed before I got pregnant. And honestly, that helped me so much. To realize as a mom that I needed time to myself really has helped me cope with these feelings. And so after a year and a half of battling with these feelings and this daunting task of trying to understand my feelings, I am to a point where I feel so much better. I am happy. I am in a job that I love. We are financially 20 times better than what we were. I just have so many things to be thankful for now. And this struggle that I've had with postpartum depression has really taught me to depend on people when you need it. to ask people for help and not be ashamed that you need help, to talk to people, to even doing this, to saying your feelings out loud and not burying them or hiding them. And so I am going to end this video on a happy note. Postpartum depression is hard. Postpartum depression has a lot of ups and downs, and things that work for some women may not work for other women, and some ways that women are feeling may be different for other women. But I am here to reassure you that it gets better, that with the right help and the right medications, if you are able to get them, things do get better. And I strongly urge you to tell your story, because telling my story has helped so much, has helped me be able to heal. And I hope that this video has somehow helped you if you are struggling with this. And I am so excited to see how my future pans out with graduating school, with my job, the boys growing up, my relationship with Cory. I am just so excited to see where it ends up, that I don't want to be angry or sad or depressed or hurt. And I am ready to take on life as a twin mom and as a mom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got comfort from it, or it is giving you the courage to speak out. If you did, please make sure you like this video and share it with your friends. Make sure that you are subscribed to our channel, because I definitely want to do more talks like this, because it's so therapeutic for me to be able to kind of talk about things that are going on and be honest, not only with myself, but, you know, with you guys as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.